Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's your 10-minute sports report. I'm your host, Captain Boring. I hope everyone is feeling refreshed from a great weekend. If not, I hope you get some refreshment in the upcoming days. Just remember to hang in there, take it one day at a time. This is your 10-minute sports report. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. Don't forget to go follow us on Instagram at Fourth One Podcast. Subscribe and like and share on YouTube for all of your sports fans that need them. 10 minutes of a daily dose of Captain Boring in their life. I got lots of college football to get into. I got NFL scores, NBA scores, NHL to get you caught up from the weekend that was. That is Monday's segment. It's called From the Weekend That Was. It is decided. All right, everyone, here's the deal. The hearing, first of all, Jim Harbaugh, if you follow us on Fourth and One Podcast on Instagram, you would know this already, but Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh says he plans to attend court hearing on Friday at 9 a.m. that will decide if he is allowed to coach the remainder of the season. Judge will hear arguments on whether to grant a temporary restraining order that would nullify the Big Ten's 3-game suspension. It is now 2. Coach Jim Harbaugh did not coach at Michigan's game on Saturday at Penn State. He says, I'm going to talk on Friday. I'm just looking forward to that opportunity. Due process. I'm not looking for special treatment. I'm not looking for a popularity contest, just looking for merit of what the case is. He stands by the fact that he nor anyone on his coaching staff knew that Connor Stalions was running an illegal advanced scouting operation. Again, sign stealing is legal if done day of. You can steal signs. You are not allowed to send people whom you are playing later that year to scout their signal, scout their team. So that is what is going on there. Again, he was suspended Friday on the plane, did not coach in Saturday's game at Penn State, and we'll get into the result of that in just un moment. But first, 2 SEC schools are going to need new head coaches. The first is Mississippi State. They fired Zach Arnett just 11 games into his tenure. Here's the thing. Mike Leach was the head coach. He died over the spring due to some ongoing health issues, and they hired Zach Arnett, who was the defensive coordinator. He changed offensive scheme, how the team was built. Will Rogers was throwing the ball like 50 times a game and very good at it. They went to throwing like 18 times a game. You're going to have a bad season. They are not very good. They are 4-6 overall, 1-6 in the SEC, has lost 6 of the past 8 games and coming off a 51-10 loss over Texas A&M. The athletic director says that the Bulldogs are just stuck in neutral. And I'm sorry, that's the wrong firing. But it was kind of a hard adjustment. As I said, he changed schemes. He changed the identity of the team from what was Mike Leach to what he believes it should be. And it was just not going. As part of my thorough and continuing evaluation, I've determined that a change in leadership is necessary to move our football program forward and positions us for the highest level of success. That's the athletic director, Zach Salmon, said in a Monday statement. Speaking of the team that's in neutral, though, that would be Texas A&M, and they just fired Jimbo Fisher for a record $76 million, ladies and gentlemen. Ross Borgic on Sunday night said it was his decision to fire head football coach Jimbo Fisher earlier that day, saying the program was stuck in neutral. He said the interim Texas A&M president, Mark Walsh, after the Aggies lost and asked to meet. The assessment that I delivered was that we are not reaching our full potential. Shocker, but you've really never have. We are not in the championship conversation, and something was not quite right about the direction and the plan. We should be relevant on the national scene. And he's right. They should be for how much money they're paying. They paid a lot to basically tell Jimbo Fisher to go away. They paid a lot of money, $76 million they paid to tell him to get lost. That's $50 million more than the next closest, and that was Gus Malzahn of Auburn. And that was 3 years ago, 3 years ago now. So that's just a whole heck of a lot of money. All righty, to get you caught up over the weekend that was. So on Saturday, the number 3 Michigan Wolverines walked into Happy Valley and ran the ball 32 straight times right down Penn State's throat. They did not throw a pass in the second half. That's false. They actually did, but it was pass interference, so it wasn't a like a stat pass. Like it doesn't count against the stats because a penalty was called on the play. So they ran the ball 32 straight times, and they beat down Penn State 24-15. It was really 24-9. Penn State got a late touchdown in the game. J.J. McCarthy threw the ball 8 times. He was 7 of 8 for 60 yards. Blake Corum was the man of the day, 26 times, 145 yards, 2 touchdowns. Interim coach Sharon Moore, who is the offensive coordinator, got his second win as head coach, his first over a top 10 program, and first on the road. He's done more in 2 games as head coach of Michigan than James Franklin has done in 9 years at Penn State. Number 1, Ohio State just slobber knockered Michigan State 38-3. Number 2, Georgia did the exact same thing to number 9, Ole Miss 52-17. It wasn't even that close. Florida State hung on and beat Miami 27-20. Number 5, Utah needed a little bit of a comeback in the second half. In fact, they did to beat number 5, Washington needed a comeback over number 18, Utah, to beat them 35-28. Number 6, Oregon hung on at home over unranked USC 36-27, ending USC's hope of a Pac-12 championship, thus ending Caleb Williams' career at USC, more than likely. Number 7, Texas hung on late over a charging TCU, 29-26. Number 8, Alabama took care of unranked Kentucky on the road, 49-21. Oregon State throttled Stanford, 62-17. Number 14, Missouri beat number 13, Tennessee, 36-7. UCF had the win of the weekend. They beat number 15, Oklahoma State by 42 points, 45-3. Texas Tech beat the Jayhawks, number 16 ranked Jayhawks, 16-13 on a last-second field goal. Number 17, Oklahoma just turned on the offense and never shut it off, 59-20. Number 19, LSU beat unranked Florida, 52-35. Number 21, Arizona went on the road to Colorado and beat them 34-31 on a last-second field goal, handing Colorado 5 losses in their last 6 games. Number 22, Iowa scored 22 points, and Rutgers scored 0. So the over-under of 28 hit. Number 23, Tulane needed to hang on late against Tulsa, 24-22. Number 24, North Carolina needed 2 overtimes to beat Duke, 47-45. And number 25, K-State trounced Baylor, 59-25. NFL scores that happened over the weekend. The Colts went to Germany and beat the Patriots to make them fall to 2-8 as they beat them 10-6. The Texans, behind a 356-yard and 1 touchdown performance by rookie C.J. Stroud, beat the Bengals 30-27. Vikings, behind Josh Dobbs, beat the Saints 27-19. The Steelers beat the Packers. I don't know if they were outgained. I'm just going to assume so. Again, 23-19. The Buccaneers beat the Titans 20-6. The 49ers just thumped the Jaguars 34-3. The Browns come from 17-3 down to beat the Baltimore Ravens 33-31. The Cardinals, the 2-8 Cardinals in Kyler Murray's first game back from injured reserve after tearing that ACL last season, beat the Falcons 25-23. The Lions beat the Chargers in the game of the weekend 41-38. The Cowboys, as long as they're not playing good teams, dominate 49-17 over the Giants. The Seahawks beat the Commanders 29-26. And last night, the Raiders, in the second start for Antonio Pierce, beat the New York Jets 16-12. All righty. So let's flip over to the NBA and let's cover some teams that we are covering. So on Friday night, the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Detroit Pistons 114-106. Joel Embiid had 33 points. And then let's go to Saturday. And Saturday, the Cleveland Cavaliers went on the road to the Golden State Warriors and won 118-110. On Sunday, the Indiana Pacers walked into Philadelphia and walked out with an L. Tyrese Maxey had 50 points as the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Pacers 137-126. The Denver Nuggets walked into Houston and took an L, 107-104. And the Cavaliers did not play. So just looking at the standings for the NBA, the Sixers do sit on top of the East still at 8-1, one game ahead of the Boston Celtics. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 4-5 and sit. They're tied for the 10th seed currently and are 4 games out of the first place. And then the Denver Nuggets out west are 8-2 and tied with the Dallas Mavericks for first in the West. Alrighty, some NHL scores now. So we will start on Friday where the San Jose Sharks walked into Vegas and got beat 5-0. On Saturday, the St. Louis Blues walked into Colorado, skated into Colorado and used those things as weapons. They beat down Colorado 8-2. That's embarrassing. The Edmonton Oilers took a trip down south to Seattle to take on the Kraken and won 4-1 and then fired their coach. So tell me what I'm missing there, everybody. That's very interesting. Sunday, San Jose Sharks went just a little north. Wonder where San Jose is in relation to Anaheim. Either way, wherever, they either went up or they went down. They lost 4-1. Let's check on these standings and then get out of here. So on the standings in the Western Conference Central Division, the Colorado Avalanche are 8-5 now. They are on a 2-game losing streak. They have 16 points. They are tied for second with the Winnipeg Jets. They are 5 points behind the Dallas Stars in the Central. In the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights are 12-2-1. They have 25 points. However, the Vancouver Canucks have come on late. They are 11-3-1 and have 23 points, just 2 games behind the Vegas Golden Knights. The Anaheim Ducks are 8-6. They are 7-3 in their last 10, 16 points, and are in 4th place. And the Kraken are 5-7-3. A lot of overtime losses there. 4-4-2 in their last 10, and they have 13 points, 3 points back of the Ducks. And that'll do it for the weekend that was. I hope everyone had a great Monday. Have a great Tuesday. I'll be back later this week at some point in time. Until then, remember, God loves you. May God bless you. Wash those hands, you filthy animals, and peace out.